Juan. Hi, Gary Digital Williams alongside the Fight Dr. Jerome Spears. We're doing something a little different tonight here at the Burns Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. We're giving you a pre-fight preview of what's going to happen tonight here at the Clarence H. Burns Arena. And of course, later on tonight on Boxing Along the Beltway, you'll see all the results as well as our post-fight as well. And tonight, I tell you, this card, and Jerome, you and I have seen a lot of this over the years, and this is a situation where you have a card that has been through so many changes, and got to give a lot of credit to the matchmaker, Brian Dillon, for keeping this card afloat. It couldn't have been easy.
You've got to adjust and adapt. Sometimes you got to do a little bit more of that than you'd hoped to originally, but certainly they've done their share of that to make sure that what the fans are going to see tonight is going to be good quality boxing football tonight.
And as we posted all throughout the day, this card literally came together almost at the last minute. A lot of things were falling into place, but we do have a 4-bout card for you tonight, and it should be an interesting one as well. Starting off with the Beltway Boxing Co-Prospect of the Year, and that is, of course, Benroy Hardwork July out of Suitland, Maryland. Taking on a guy who's got a pretty good record, 13-2, 11 KOs, in the lumberjack Justin Howes. But Jerome, Benroy July is the guy who puts a lot of that hard work, just like his nickname says, into motion.
Well, I had a chance to talk to him, one of the guys working with him, Star Child, Antonio Reese.
Yes.
He talked about there's a lot of stuff that they still want to do in terms of fine-tuning. But they got a good effort going so far, and he's on the right glide path. So this should be a very interesting main event.
Benroy July trying to stay undefeated. He's now 10-0-2 with 4 KOs to his credit. Also on the card tonight, we've got a guy that Jerome and I, just before we went on the air, talked about how long we've known this young man, who we've known him since, I guess, about the age of 13. He came guessing on one of our post-fight wrap-up shows a few years ago. And now tonight, Brady, the Magician Sensabar, to Glen Burnie, Maryland, makes his professional debut. That should be very, very good.
Time flies when you're having fun. It's going to be pretty amazing to see him in this venue as opposed to the venues that we're used to seeing him in. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch that one and see what he brings to the dance.
And we've talked to Brady. He's going to be very excited about this. He's facing a guy by the name of Giovanni Vasquez, who's out of Columbia, South Carolina. And we were just talking just a few minutes ago. He's making his pro debut as well, folks, and he has got a nickname I think belongs in the boxing nickname Hall of Fame, along like the Sugar Poo and some of the others we've had. He is known as the thumb of God. Not the hand of God, but the thumb of God. And the reason why, we were just told earlier, that the reason why he's known as the thumb of God is because he feels with his whole hand, he'll just obliterate somebody. Which has got to be one of the craziest origins of a nickname I've heard in a long time. How about you, man?
Well, that's pretty good. Well thought out methodology.
Yes, indeed.
So let's see what he does with that thumb tonight.
No question about it. Now, also on the card tonight, we got Lee Snow out of Baltimore, Maryland. He's 1-2, trying to even his record against a guy named Issa Koibali. He's out of D.C., and to tell you the truth, we don't know a lot about this guy. And Lee Snow's had some tough bouts early on, so we're interested to see how that one comes out to the 4-rounder.
Both the guys making a pro debut, so anything can happen with guys that are coming out for the first time.
Actually, Lee Snow is 1-2, so he's coming in 1-2, and he's had some tough bouts along the way as well. Now, the one fight that I'm looking forward to seeing tonight, and it's the opening bout tonight, scheduled to be, and that's Kevin the Scarecrow Womack Jr. Now, remember, a year ago, Kevin Womack had the knockout of the year at the Showplace Arena, and he just obliterated a guy in his pro debut. Now, after only 3 fights, and because of the nature of this card, because as you may know, Maryland and other places around the country, you have to have a certain amount of rounds to have a card take place. And originally, the Benroy July bout was scheduled to be 10 rounds in length, and they nixed that, made an 8-round limit, and waived that situation for Maryland. But usually you have to have at least, I believe it's 22 rounds worth of boxing to have a card here in the state of Maryland. So what they did was, they bumped the Kevin Womack Nalo Leo bout from 4 rounds to 6 rounds. And that's interesting, Jerome, because Kevin Womack only has 3 pro bouts to his credit right now, facing a guy who has had 20 bouts.
No doubt about it. It creates an interesting dynamic as relates to whether or not you end up hearing the bell ring at the end of the 4th, and he's got to deal for round 5 and round 6 against a very experienced fighter. So yeah, that gives him a lot to have to work with, but he's got a lot of power, and so maybe he's going to try to make sure it doesn't get that far. We'll have to see.
We'll see what happens here. So that's pretty much the card coming up tonight, and of course, again, we'll be you can follow us either on Boxing Along the Beltway or ProAmFightTalk.com, and we'll have all the coverage for you tonight. We have our post-fight wrap-up show later on this evening. For now, for the Fight Dr. Jerome Spears and for our camera operator Juan Marshall, I'm Gary Digital Williams. We'll be back in just a few minutes here from the Burns Arena in Baltimore.